Every year, millions of tons of trees, branches, and even entire stumps are removed from forests, construction sites, and urban landscapes across the United States. At first glance, these massive chunks of wood look like waste, too bulky to transport, too tough to process, and too irregular to reuse. But here's the reality. Inside one of the most powerful hidden industries, giant wood chippers are capable of devouring entire tree trunks in seconds, transforming them into mulch, biomass fuel, and industrial materials. What seems like destruction is actually the beginning of a new life cycle. Today, we're stepping inside the world of supergiant wood chipping, where machines process entire tree stumps into valuable resources at an incredible scale. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dive documentaries into the industries that quietly power the modern world. The journey begins far from the factory floor, in forests, logging zones, construction sites, and storm cleanup operations. Every time land is cleared or trees are harvested, what remains is often the hardest part to deal with: thick branches, twisted roots, and massive tree stumps. These leftovers are heavy, irregular, and difficult to transport. A single tree stump can weigh hundreds of kilograms, and piles of wood waste can quickly grow into mountains. Instead of burning or dumping this material, modern systems collect it. Excavators with powerful grapples load tree trunks and stumps onto trucks. In large operations, fleets of trucks move continuously, hauling hundreds of tons of wood waste every day to centralized processing sites. When the trucks arrive, the scale becomes immediately clear. Huge piles of wood waste rise 10 to 20 meters high, stretching across entire yards. These are not small branches. They include entire logs, root balls, and debris from large-scale land clearing operations. And at the center of it all sits the machine that makes everything possible, the industrial wood chipper. These are not the small machines used in backyards. Industrial wood chippers are massive, often weighing over 30 to 80 tons, powered by engines exceeding 500 to 1,000 horsepower. Some of the largest models can process 100 to 300 tons of wood per hour. The process begins with feeding. Excavators or conveyor systems push logs and stumps into the chipper's intake. The opening itself can be over 1 meter wide, allowing entire tree trunks to enter without pre-cutting. Once inside, the real power is unleashed. Rotating drums or discs equipped with hardened steel blades spin at high speed. As the wood makes contact, it is instantly cut, shredded, and broken apart. The sound is intense, a deep, grinding roar as thick wood is reduced to small chips in seconds. A full tree trunk can disappear in less than 10 seconds. Even dense root balls and irregular stumps are no match. The machine tears through knots, dirt-covered roots, and hardwood with relentless force. As the material is processed, it is expelled through chutes onto conveyor belts or directly into waiting trucks. What comes out is no longer waste. It is uniform wood chips ready for the next stage. From here, the material enters a new industrial pathway. One of the most common uses is mulch. Wood chips are screened and sorted by size. Larger pieces may be reprocessed, while smaller, consistent chips are colored, treated, and packaged for landscaping. Every year, millions of tons of mulch are used in gardens, parks, and urban spaces to retain moisture, suppress weeds, and improve soil health. But mulch is only the beginning. A significant portion of wood chips is used as biomass fuel. In energy facilities, these chips are burned in controlled environments to produce heat and electricity. Biomass plants can consume hundreds of thousands of tons of wood chips annually, generating renewable energy that reduces reliance on fossil fuels. Some advanced systems go even further. Through processes like gasification and pyrolysis, wood chips are converted into synthetic gas, bio-oil, or biochar. These products can be used for energy, industrial processes, or soil improvement. Wood chips also serve as raw material for manufacturing. In large processing plants, chips are transformed into particle board, MDF panels, and engineered wood products. These materials are used in furniture, construction, and interior design. Paper production is another major pathway. Wood chips are pulped, broken down into fibers, and processed into paper, packaging, and cardboard products. This allows even low-quality wood waste to become part of high-demand industries. Nothing is wasted. Even dust and fine particles generated during chipping are collected and reused. These can be compressed into fuel pellets or used in composite materials. The efficiency of the system is remarkable, from irregular, bulky waste to uniform, usable material. The transformation happens in seconds, and it happens at scale. A single large wood processing facility can handle thousands of tons of material per day, operating continuously to keep up with supply. Behind the scenes, logistics play a critical role. Trucks deliver raw wood waste from multiple sources. Processed materials are shipped out to landscaping companies, power plants, factories, and retailers. The entire system operates as a loop. Trees are harvested or removed, waste is collected. Machines process it into new forms. Those forms are used in energy, construction, and agriculture. And in many cases, they return to the soil, supporting new growth. This is the circular economy in action. Technology continues to push the industry forward. Modern wood chippers are equipped with sensors that monitor load, vibration, and blade condition. Automated systems adjust feeding rates to maximize efficiency and prevent damage. Some facilities use AI to optimize sorting and processing, ensuring that each type of wood waste is directed to its highest value use. Safety is also critical. With machines powerful enough to process entire trees in seconds, strict protocols are in place. Operators maintain safe distances, use protective equipment, and rely on automated feeding systems to reduce risk. Despite the power and scale, the goal is not destruction, it is transformation. What was once considered useless debris is now a valuable resource. What once required disposal now generates energy, materials, and economic value. From storm cleanup operations to massive logging sites, from urban tree removal to industrial recycling centers, wood chipping plays a vital role in managing one of the largest organic waste streams in the world. And it does so with incredible speed, efficiency, and impact. The next time you see a pile of wood chips or walk past freshly mulched ground, it's worth remembering what it used to be. Entire trees, branches, and roots processed by machines powerful enough to reshape nature itself. In the world of supergiant wood chippers, nothing is wasted. Everything is transformed. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most powerful and satisfying industrial processes on Earth, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into the systems that power our modern world. Thanks for watching.
Across the United States, more than 100 billion cardboard boxes are used every single year. From Amazon deliveries on your doorstep, to food packaging in grocery stores, to the shipping crates that move America's economy, almost everything is touched by cardboard. But what most people don't know is that over 90% of all cardboard in America is recycled. making it one of the most successful recycling systems in the modern world. And behind that achievement are gigantic facilities, some the size of entire neighborhoods, where mountains of paper waste are transformed back into brand new packaging. Today we're taking you inside one of the largest cardboard recycling plants in America, where millions of tons of waste paper arrive, are shredded, pulped, cleaned, pressed, dried, and reborn as fresh cardboard, ready to start the cycle all over again. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our deep dive documentaries into the hidden industries powering our world. Cardboard might seem simple, just brown paper, but its story stretches back nearly 150 years. In 1871, American inventor Albert Jones patented the first corrugated paper used to protect glass bottles. Soon after, corrugated cardboard evolved into the shipping boxes we know today. By the early 1900s, factories across the US produced millions of boxes for railroads and growing retail industries. But as America exploded in population, consumer goods, and nationwide shipping networks, cardboard waste became a massive problem. By the 1960s, landfills were overflowing with paper packaging. That's when large-scale recycling began. Cities launched curbside programs, grocery stores compacted boxes instead of throwing them away. And by the 1980s, cardboard had become the most recycled material in the country. Today, the recycling rate is astonishing. More than 32 million tons of cardboard and paper are recycled in America every year. And at the heart of this system are the giant plants we're about to explore. Every day, trucks loaded with old corrugated containers, known in the industry as OCC, arrive from across the region. Some come from supermarkets, loaded with flattened produce boxes. Some come from big box retailers, packed tight after nightly restocking. Some come from households, collected from curbside bins across entire cities. At the unloading zone, mountains of cardboard rise stories high, forming hills of material waiting to be reborn. Forklifts, wheel loaders, and giant bulldozers push the waste into towering piles. These facilities often handle up to 2,000 tons per day. That's the equivalent of processing an entire football stadium filled with cardboard every 24 hours. But this cardboard can't be recycled yet. Plastic tapes, food contamination, staples, wooden debris, packing foam, all of this must be removed, and that's where the journey begins. Inside the plant, a web of conveyor belts carries the waste paper upward into the sorting line. Workers and machines team up in one of the fastest and most critical steps of the entire process. Human workers stand along high-speed belts, removing anything that doesn't belong. Their job is intense. A single worker may process 4-8 tons of material per hour. Next, high-tech machines take over. By the time the cardboard exits the sorting line, it is nearly pure, clean enough for pulping. The clean paper is fed into giant conveyors, moving toward the heart of the recycling plant, the pulper. The pulper is where the magic happens. Imagine a steel tank the size of a small swimming pool, filled with rotating blades, powerful enough to tear paper apart on a molecular level. Workers release bales of sorted cardboard into the pulper, where it mixes with warm water. The blades rip and churn the material, turning it into a thick slurry called paper pulp. The transformation takes just a few minutes, but the chemistry behind it has been refined over decades. Cardboard is made from cellulose fibers, long strands from trees. When water penetrates the fibers, the hydrogen bonds loosen. Mechanical force breaks the structure, freeing the fibers to be reused. Screens inside the pulper trap the unwanted materials, leaving behind a smooth, oatmeal-like pulp. This pulp will become brand new cardboard, but not before it takes a trip through the most advanced cleaning systems in the industry. The pulp is pumped through a system of machines designed to refine and clean the mixture at microscopic levels. Finally, disc refiners gently brush the fibers, improving their bonding ability for stronger cardboard. By the end of this stage, what began as dirty waste is now a clean, silky pulp ready to become paper once again. This is the dramatic heart of the plant. The paper machine, often hundreds of feet long, it consists of three main systems: the forming section, the press section, and the drying section. The pulp mixture, now 99% water and 1% fiber, is poured onto a moving mesh screen called the wire. As it travels, water drains away. Vibrations shake the fibers into alignment. A mat of future cardboard begins to appear. For the first time, the material looks like real paper. The wet sheet moves between massive steel rollers. These rollers squeeze out more water under extreme pressure, up to 1,000 psi. After pressing, the sheet is still too wet, but its thickness and structure are now fixed. This is where the real transformation happens. The paper passes through rows of steam-heated cylinders, some over 6 feet in diameter, reaching temperatures of 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 120 degrees Celsius. As moisture evaporates, the sheet strengthens and shrinks slightly, becoming stiff, durable, and ready for corrugation. By the time it leaves the drying section, the sheet is a ribbon of smooth paper traveling at speeds over 3,000 feet per minute. This long ribbon is either rolled into massive reels or sent directly to the corrugator. Stacks of fresh cardboard are bundled, strapped, and moved to storage or shipped to customers the same day. The process is continuous. Some plants produce up to 12 miles of cardboard every hour. From here, they're printed, folded, glued, and turned into the recognizable boxes Americans use every single day. In fact, many boxes you receive from online shopping were probably a cereal box or newspaper just weeks earlier. If you enjoyed this journey inside the supergiant cardboard recycling plant, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the incredible processes that keep our world running.